In April of 2015, I had gone up to Spokane, west of Spokane area, to research a Bigfoot sighting, and I discovered that a lot of people had seen Bigfoot in that area. A lot of people, when you ask them if they've seen Bigfoot, they're quick to tell you, yeah, they've seen it. I spent several weeks up there, back and forth, running up there to investigate more discoveries that I had made. But there was this area we hiked, and we discovered a cave, and so we went into the cave. And this is one of my favorite videos. I locked up my other channel so that you couldn't see these videos, and I removed them from that channel. But I'm going to show them on this channel because I think it's important that people see what's discovered so that they know that the Bigfoot are real. There's psychological entities, I believe, out there, but they're also the real thing, you know. So you guys enjoy this. I'm going to be documenting my discoveries over the last couple years, and I want you guys to see the hard work I put into it and that I'm serious on this work I do. So peace.
Yes, here.
Is it recording?
Yeah, go ahead. Here.
Russell Couples came on and asked me if transients were doing some of the work in the expedition we took in 2015, going up to that underground shelter that we found about a mile up above the road, several miles from the nearest town, about 20 miles or so. He asked me if transients were responsible, and in my reply I was trying to send him the link to this underground shelter video where we went down in there with the boys. And while I was grabbing the link for him, I just happened to be at a spot where Daniel was looking on the wall at this crustacean that was formed there on the wall. Well, Daniel moved forward. He had his flashlight, and right where he sticks the camera up to, right as he sticks the camera up in there, there's a vocalization that I hear. It's like a warning vocal, like a whoa. And I know it's not coming from Daniel himself. Daniel is Furb, by the way. He sticks the camera up there, and there's another room there, an entrance that I don't think he could see from the angle he was at, but the camera shows it. And there's definitely some kind of entrance back there, and I believe the vocal comes from within that area. So I've gone and taken a clip from the video and put it here for us to listen to, and I'll slow it down even so that it's easier to hear it. Then you can go back and listen to it. It'll be easier to identify. Also, something I noticed when the boys come down into the area, because I'm up on the ceiling. I'm outside the shelter looking through a hole about this big. I stick my camera and lights down there so that Elijah, he's the first to enter the shelter, he can see down in there before he enters. That way he can see if there's a wild animal or something in there. And when he's down in there and he tells Furb it's okay to come in, there's these stones that are stacked down below that Dan has to stretch a ways down to get to them. And I know from going down in there myself that you have to reach way up to pull yourself out, and it's not easy getting out because you got to pull yourself up and then use your knees up against the rocks to wedge your body and crawl out. So that's something I think is an indicator to the tall creature that lives in this shelter. So I just wanted you guys to take a closer look at that. Listen to this vocal that I hear, and I'll isolate it and repeat it several times so that you get a good grasp of what I'm hearing. And I want you to take a look at those stones. I want you to take a look at those stones and tell me what you think about what's going on there. I really do believe that's an indicator that something is a little bit taller than humans, because Dan has to stretch quite a ways to get down in there. Anyway, I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can go back and look at this. Of all the 11,200 people who've watched this video, no one's ever pointed this out to me. Russell Couples just had to ask an inquisitive question today about transients, and I just happened to, when I go to give him this link, it just happened to be that part of the video, and I heard it, and it's like, I can't believe I haven't heard this before. So it pays to go back over your stuff. Sometimes we miss some of the really good stuff. So here it is, you guys. Tell me what you think. Alright, so I've gone and I've done that. I've isolated this for you. I broke it down. This shelter, I want to tell you a little bit more about the shelter. The shelter is about a mile, my guesstimate, maybe a little more than a mile, up above the highway at about a 55-degree incline. It took us around an hour and 45 minutes to hike vigorously up to it. There are times when we had to leave the path and climb rocks and along ledgeways, and there are times we had to leap from one stone, risking a broken leg, to get to another stone to get up to what we needed to get up there. And at one point we're reaching an area up there where there's lots of brush blocking any of the entryways that you can get up in there. And when we finally do get up there, we're in an area that is nothing but massive boulders, and it's clearly off the beaten trail. We did find the pie tin, we did find the beer can up in there, and a little bit of trash. And a lot of people have said, you know, campers are doing this. Well, I'm going to tell you, with it being rattlesnake country, that most likely anyone getting an opportunity to camp up there would be when the weather's cold. And I wouldn't think that somebody would carry a pie that far up into the woods, that many miles away from a town, to eat a pie. But with people like Barb Shoop and others gifting the Bigfoot pies, it doesn't surprise me that a pie would be grabbed and taken by a Bigfoot and taken to an underground shelter where they divvied it up with their roommates. So the walking stick that was in there was this big stick about this big around. It's about 10-11 feet long. It wasn't used as a firewood because it's all carved and chipped on the end. I'll try to leave a clip of that too. But this walking stick that was down in there was for something massive. We did find lots of white marking, and somebody mentioned on, I think it was Rainbow Moon Raven, mentioned that she's finding a lot of the Sasquatch that have a stripe or white markings. Well, in this area, about halfway up, we started finding white marker stones that didn't match any of the stones of the area. And I believe those to be, the white stone is a marker of this tribe, which I call the Bow People. Way up top in white markings on the stone, we found Kim Puckluck. And when I researched that name, I couldn't find another name, except I found Nuckluck. Nuckluck is Canadian black-like Sasquatch people, not far from where we're at. The Canadian border is only like 60, 80 miles north of where this location's at. So I did want to mention that the white markings are all over the area. We had found it on sticks. We had found it rubbed on sticks and on stones all around the area, and I do believe that that's one way that they mark their territory. But again, going back into this shelter, we really didn't catch on to that room. There are other rooms in there that we missed, and rooms that we couldn't access under this shelter, under this big giant rock, which I think several hundred tons. I'm going to document it a lot better. I'm going to document that stone, how big it is and all that, when I return up there next month. But I've listened to this over and over and over now for about an hour, and I'm confident that it's a Bigfoot back in there. And it makes a noise to Daniel as he's sticking his hands up there to do this research on some stuff he's found that looks like cement. And I'm confident it's not him that makes that sound. So this was the video, you guys. Those of you who haven't seen this underground shelter in stone, I really suggest you watch the video. We may have been a lot more you know, amateur and naive at the time we made this video, but I've learned a lot in the last couple years. It's been 2 years since we've been up there. It's been 2 years and a couple months now, so you guys enjoy the video.
What's up? Let me get this ready. I got this bear mace cocked and ready.
Look around all the holes over here.
There's a hole down.
Get Furb down with a stick to help you. Follow him in, Furb.
Okay, it's clear. Furby, come in.
Look around all corners. Behind boulders and stuff.
little light hole up here.
So many sleeping areas down here.
Hey, come here, grab this, and
Wait a second.
remember the recon?
One second, there's a little hole up here I didn't notice before.
Hey,
So this wasn't here before?
recon me. Yeah, that's new. Here, recon
There's a
me.
new little cubby I wasn't able to see with the horrible light last time.
You guys take this, and then you're gonna point it up at me.
Yeah. Hey James, what's up? Dude, it's so crazy down in here.
There's some cool stuff right here. Use it. Look, check this out.
Places for everything.